Washington. In politics, as in life, there are plenty of pebbles. John Lewis was a rock, secure in his principles, solid against injustice. In Washington, Lewis commanded respect that bordered on reverence, deepened by a humility that often transcended partisan strife. John Lewis died last night at age 80, the cause pancreatic cancer. The news drew praise from every living U.S. president and heads of state. Tonight, flags at the White House, the U.S. Capitol, and across the country have been lowered to half-staff. We will have much more on Lewis's life, including a discussion about an issue that was his life's work, voting rights and access. But we begin with Nancy Cordes on the unforgettable life and contributions of John Lewis.
We're marching to our state capitol.
John Lewis secured his place in history by the time he was 21, a freedom rider who risked his life on buses and at lunch counters to push for desegregation.
We do not want our freedom gradually, but we want to be free now.
Lewis helped to organize the March on Washington and was the youngest speaker that day in 1963. 2 years later, he collided with history again while leading a peaceful march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama.
This is an unlawful assembly.
The brutal crackdown on Edmund Pettus Bridge came to be known as Bloody Sunday.
I was the first person to be hit. I thought I was going to down this bridge.
In 1986, Atlanta elected Lewis to the U.S. Congress, where he remained devoted to the principles of nonviolent protest, boycotting 2 presidential inaugurations, and organizing a sit-in on the House floor to fight for gun control legislation.
I met Rosa Parks in 1957 when I was 17. 1958, I met Dr. King. And these 2 individuals inspired me to get in trouble. And I've been getting in good trouble, necessary trouble ever since.
He crusaded for voting rights until the end.
The bill is passed.
And was a driving force behind the African American History Museum, which now sits on the National Mall. Throughout it all, he remained a happy warrior. Arrested 45 times, he said he smiled in some mugshots because he knew he was on the right side of history.
When people tell me nothing has changed, I just feel like saying, come and walk in my shoes.
Last month, he visited the new Black Lives Matter Plaza, 1 block from the White House.
It was very moving, very moving.
A movement inspired in part by his bravery half a century ago. Here on Capitol Hill, Lewis was often referred to as the conscience of Congress. Leaders are now trying to determine how best to bid farewell to this legendary figure. Major?
Nancy Cordes, thank you.